Hello everyone, welcome back to Glitz and Glitter. So yesterday afternoon I got my monthly delivery from Into Resin. So we are going to show you, well, I'm going to show you what I picked this month. And several of them are small. You're actually not going to believe it. So I asked for the little water ripple cross mold before I knew that Barbara sent me one. I think it was Barbara. Yeah. And but I ordered the 2-pack. So there are 2 different versions of it. So we have the cross molds to do. Even though I've done this one, I've not done that one. And then another smaller one that I asked for was the handmade diamond butterfly mold. And this is all we could see, although you could see the picture on the screen. So this is like a bigger one. I'm wondering if it holds about 2 ounces instead of the normal 1/2 ounce to 1 ounce. So that is the butterfly mold. We will definitely try. I'm gonna pick one of these today, obviously, and do them. I'll probably add these just because I want to see what they look like. And then the next one, I got this crystal edged coaster mold or tray mold, whatever you want to use it for, but it looks like it's the perfect size for a coaster with a large crystal edge on it. But look at the sparkle on that. I mean, it's screaming for a bloom, isn't it? What else can we do other than a bloom? I don't know, but that is gorgeous. And then I got it sidekick, this tray in the crystal edge. So this is really big, as you can see. It's like both of my hands plus extra. I think they call it irregular shaped or tray mold or something like that. It'll be on the screen. It'll also be linked in the description if you fell in love with it. It is gorgeous. Look at the shine on the silicone. I'm so excited to do that. I don't know which one I'm doing yet. I have not figured it out. The last one is the handmade clover divided tray mold. I did not realize this thing was massive. This is basically the same size as that other divided tray mold that I've been doing with the food grade resin. Look at this. This is the base and this is the top. I had no idea. I don't know why. I don't look at measurements. I just look at the pictures when I'm ordering. So we have another one to do, and I'll probably do food grade resin in here too. You don't have to use it for food. I mean, you could use it for a beautiful storage jar too, depending on what you want. But this thing is just as large as that other one. So I'm excited to do that. The giveaway one is always, generally it's one that I've done in the past, and usually it's one that I did last month, and I did that this month too. So I picked the water ripple tray to go in the giveaway. So I will do the giveaway in a future date when I'm doing one of these last ones. I don't know if I'm going to do all these in a row this month. I might do staggered every other day or something like that. It's really probably only going to take me 3 days because I'm probably going to do the small ones together. So make sure you enter the giveaway. Come back every day to see if that is the day to do it. A lot of people do enter, and so far every winner has come forward for all of the giveaways. I use a different platform. It's so easy. Just put your email in. If you want bonus entries, you can get them. If you don't want the bonus entries, you don't have to do that. So yeah, it's working out really well. So I'm going to continue using that platform, but that's not today. Today is not giveaway day. We will do that later. So let me get a plan together and we will mix up some resin and start.
Brushes in hand and the world is my stage.
Let's start with the three smallest ones. So the 2 crosses and the butterfly. Now I pulled out the Rolio pigments that I just received in Happy Mail from Sparkle, and this has the 24 colors, and they're the pearlescent. So I haven't tried them yet. The only thing is these little tags move. I did shake them really good, and the sediment comes off the bottom pretty easily. So you don't need any kind of ball bearing like I thought you would. So they shake pretty good. So I'm going to do the butterfly in the pearlescent, what is it called? Lilac. Now, if you guys want a Rolio day, again, with all the pearlescent colors to see what they look like, just let me know in the comments. And we can do all those colors again. Now, this looks pretty transparent. So depending on the color you're going for, I do want transparency, but I do also want the color. So I'm going to give it a good squirt. And then I picked a pink and a blue for the two crosses. And I'm wondering if we need a squirt of normal, but I don't want to use up all my color in a bottle to get a color. So you know what I'm going to do? That has the pearlescence to it, but you're not getting a ton of color to it. Let me grab my purple alcohol ink, and I'm going to do 1 drop and see if we'll still have the purple, but we'll also have the pearlescent. And I think that's what we need to do. So the pearlescent colors are going to be like the sidekick, I think. I'm going to do 1 more drop, and that's it, of the purple alcohol ink. Now the Let's Resin purple alcohol ink is the only one that I found that stays purple in resin. All my other ones just turn to different colors, and I don't know why, but that's the experience I have. So I try to stick to the Let's Resin brand for alcohol inks when I can. Oh, that's going to be nice. So that's what I'm looking for. Look at that purple. So I don't know if a Rolio Day will help, because I think we're going to have to help them out a little bit with the color with alcohol inks. So I'm not sure that will do anything. So I'm just going to give this a nice squirt, not really counting drops or anything. Let me grab another little stick here and see what this does. So it's got the hint of the color, but it's more sparkle than anything. So let's get a pink alcohol ink. Oh gosh, which ones are my pinks? You know what? I know my Pixis are pink for sure. Let's do 1 drop of the candy. 1 drop, that's it. So I'm not going for pink, I'm going for, see, that's even pretty strong. So I'm not sure if that overtook my, I'm gonna put another squirt of my Rolio in there to make sure we get that pearlescent color. Hopefully I didn't lose it. And let's try the blue. There's several different pinks and reds in this kit. There's several different blues in this kit. I just chose, this one says Maya Blue. Nice squirt to it. Let me wipe this off so I don't have sticks laying everywhere. See, now this one does not need any help at all. That one is gorgeous. Maybe I just wasn't putting enough in, I'm not sure. But that one should be good. All right, I'm gonna get these through the vacuum chamber and then pour them, and you'll see what I'm doing next.
Glitz and glitter lighting up the night, painting dreams with a shimmer so bright, rhinestones dancing, catching every eye. This is my moment, gonna touch the sky.
Let's go ahead and pour these in. I'm excited to see what they look like unmolded. So this one, I'm just gonna flip up this little back flap and hopefully not pour any bubbles in. I did measure it with alcohol and it held about 2.5 ounces. I just don't want to over pour it. I'm trying to get it in that little slit. Whoop, that's it. I think there were 3 in here, and yeah, 2.5 ounces for sure. So it's not no little extras mold for like a couple drops, that's for sure. Let me just clean this off so it's not all, oops. So I don't have so much trimming to do. Okay, let's do these. Let's do blue. And I'm gonna fill them all the way up this time. I know I was doing them halfway prior to, so I could make little bookmarks out of them. or a pendant, if you fill it all the way up, it's just a little bit too thick for that. Well, a lot a bit too thick for that. I'm gonna fill it all the way up though, so you guys can see the color. Just needs a couple more drops. So I'm gonna have a little extra, so I'll find something I can put all these colors in together maybe. And then this one. I wish I would have picked a different pink, because I really wanted to see the Rolio more than I wanted to see that Pixis. But we might get that shimmer shine through it, so I'm excited to see these unmolded. I just need to go eye level so I can see what I did here. That one's good. Okay. They are both domed. This one is not, because I feel like I'm gonna have to trim too much. I'm just gonna leave that one the way it is and push these out of the way for now. I've got some left, so let me see if I could find a mold for these. Let's do this one I got in the mystery box. I'm just going to, come on, pour, get all three colors in and then fill it up. I don't know. It should look pretty with crystal, these crystal edges that it has. I might not see the blue though. I don't even know if I have enough to fill it up. So I'm finding that I can't find the links. They don't really have links to the ones that come in their mystery boxes. So I don't know how to get you access to them. Maybe they're not selling them separately from the mystery boxes. That I don't know. But I tried finding the links when I got the mystery box for you guys, and I couldn't find them. And they do want your input if you ordered the mystery box. They're getting mixed reviews, I guess. I did put a survey out on my Facebook group and in my post page on YouTube. So if you can fill that out for them, I'm pretty sure they would really appreciate that, because they will make adjustments maybe according to what you guys are saying. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. I know that they're interested in the feedback, or they wouldn't have had me. Maybe other people are putting it out there too. So that didn't completely fill it, but that's okay. I don't need it completely full. I know this one is going to be pretty because I had a smaller version of it. All right, so that is cute. I'm gonna mix it, I think. I'm going to stir it and maybe swirl it? I don't know. I still want to see the colors. Let's get this cleaned. All right, I'm gonna spritz that one because there are bubbles on it and move it out of the way. That one might be gorgeous. I don't know. So, do you want to see what I'm getting ready to do? I chose this one. I measured it with alcohol as well. Well, not completely to the top. I was just going to cover that, but I don't think I want a back layer on it. So that was like 3 ounces. And this one is nice because you can do 2 layers. I don't know if you could tell. It is down enough to where we could do 2 layers. I know some molds that I have that are crystal like this, you cannot do that. But this one you definitely can do 2 layers. So it was 3 ounces with about 1/4 inch left, which was great for a bloom if you want to back it in another color. But I think I want a crystal bloom, like just clear today, just to show off the crystals and not put a color in there. I bet you can even drip colors in there first if you wanted to, and then do the back. There's probably several ways to do this mold, but I think I'm just gonna mix up 4 ounces. It might even take 5. Maybe I better do 5. And then I chose these 2 colors by Pixis, the bubblegum and the sky, so we can get blue, purple, and pink in the actual bloom. I haven't done a bloom for a while. I hope I didn't lose my knack. Hopefully it comes out and I do this mold justice. So let me get that, and I'm going to heat it to 33 to 35 degrees Celsius before we pour it. And I'm going to use my ocean white pigment paste for the actual petals. So that's what my plan is. If I adjust it, I might adjust it. I don't know. I got the resin mixed up. I mixed up 5 just to be safe. Now there's many factors in doing a bloom properly. So the first one is use the right resin. I'm using, okay, this is 34 degrees. That's another factor. I'm using 4-hour fast cure by Let's Resin. So a thick consistency resin is the best. Make sure you're not pouring it out until at least 33 degrees Celsius. And then pour it into your mold. I'm gonna pour this pretty high. Sometimes they come out better when you don't pour it quite as high, but because I wanna keep it crystallized, I do wanna save some for white. So let me get that in here first. You don't need a whole lot. And then the white is another factor. So I do want to leave some space in here for the white, but I think we have plenty of space. I think we have plenty. It's not all the way up. I'm going to take a dotting tool because I see bubbles that are forming in the crystals. So before I drop my alcohol inks, I just want to try to dislodge as many of them as I can. I should have sprayed it, but I didn't know. This is the first time, obviously. And I think after this one's cured, I'm going to pour it a different way for those of you who don't do blooms, so you don't feel like you have to do a bloom if you get this mold. So we're going to pour it a little differently so you can see how beautiful it's going to be without a bloom in the center. I like to do these a couple different ways for you guys when I get their molds, because I never know if I'm going to get back to them anytime soon. I mean, the fastest way for me to get back to them is if people order them. Otherwise, I have so many things stacked up on my table to do that I don't always get back to them. So I try to do a couple different ways for you guys. All right, I'm going to just take a lighter to that and pop those bubbles. A vacuum chamber is very important in a bloom. Get all those bubbles out. They will hinder your petals when it's trying to bloom. It's gonna look like lace instead of a, let me try this one. This is like a little torch lighter. Get them out of there before I drop my alcohol inks. Okay, before I do the white, I'm just gonna drop the inks. And I'm just gonna do them random, I think. And I don't care that they're going like out to the edge. I don't mind that at all. I do want the 3 colors though, purple, pink, blue, from them mixing together. So I want to make sure that they do touch. Maybe I'll even do some inside the blues to make sure we get some purple. And then we're going to just let that move for a little while, see what happens if we need to add any more. We could swirl it too if we want to. So I'm just going to let that do its thing while I mix up the white. So for the white, I have maybe, I don't know how much, I can't even guess, 1/2 ounce, maybe a little bit more or a little less. Oops, I usually like to do a stick. Let me have my stick. I like to drop my drops of white onto the stick one at a time because I don't weigh out or measure out my clear. So I'll do 1 drop at a time until I hit just past the transparent stage. And this was about 1 drop, and that's still a little too skim milky for me. If you use the regular epoxy resin, you can do it. You would need the consistency of the white that color if you use that regular epoxy. But you would also have to wait to pour it into your mold until it's about 38 to 42 degrees. So there are some changes to be made depending on which epoxy you're using. That looks good to me. So I do want to get these bubbles out as they're coming up. And I want a little more color in there. So let me keep dropping some drops. I've never used Pixis alcohol ink in a bloom before, so I'm kind of learning how it moves. Whoops. Hopefully that's good. Maybe I'll swirl it. Which one was this? Pink. Get the caps on. I don't want my alcohol to dissipate while it's sitting here uncapped. So while I wait for that to do its thing, I'm just going to get this in a piping bag. I haven't really thought about the petal, which kind of petal, any kind of like shape you make seems to work out beautifully in a bloom. If you know what you're doing, you can really start messing around with your petal shapes. I've done circles, squares, squiggles. I've done random pours as far as it's rings. I've done all kinds of things and they all turn out pretty nice. So if you can get your resin right, if you can get your white right, then your petal is not a big deal. The petal is simple because it doesn't matter. You don't need to be an artist. You don't need to be somebody who can draw, because I'm definitely not a drawing artist. I'll tell you that. All right, I'm done with the white. I think I'm going to go ahead and do this. Just kind of mix them together myself. Generally, I use Let's Resin brand alcohol inks. And they do pretty good. Look at that. That looks really super cool. Okay. Now for the white. So I'm just going to get it all down to the bottom here. I'm going to tie a little knot in my piping bag so I don't have to. I kind of twist it like this to keep it all down at the bottom, and then tie a little knot and cut it off. There we go. I just cut it off only because I don't like it in my hand. You don't have to do that. You don't even have to use a piping bag. Okay. Now I haven't even thought about how I'm going to draw these. I think I'm going to draw like petals. I don't know if this is the right time to be experimenting. I just cut the tip off. I want to see kind of how thick. Yeah, that's about good. Start small before you start cutting the tip off too much, and then you have to redo it. Come on, keep coming out. That looks good. I think I'm going to just draw like rose petals and not pull them in. I don't know. You'll see what I mean. Like that. And kind of get bigger as we go away from the center. I don't know if I've ever done this before. I may have. I don't remember. I'm just going to go along, and as I get larger or wider, I'm going to get larger with the petals. And I'm not going to pull them in like we do with the dotting tool or anything. I'm just going to let it bloom and see what happens. I haven't done a bloom in, oh gosh, I can't remember, several months. And you need that thick consistency so your white doesn't drop. Now, the only concern I have is my clear resin might be too thick, because typically I like to have a thin layer of resin where it's gonna bloom and it moves really nicely. So I guess we're gonna find out. I'm gonna go all the way to the edge, why not? And that's it. I'm just going to let it do its thing and pray that it blooms. I don't know. Let's try to get some. You make some bubbles here and there, so just warming them up. You can even heat gun it right now. I am going to swirl the center just because I like to do that. I don't typically put anything in my centers because they can be off center and then I get mad. Why did I do that? So I don't do that. So the heat from your heat gun will help bloom it. I think what I'm going to do, what can I do with this extra? Let me figure out something to do with the extra. Maybe I'll marble stuff. Generally, I'll marble things. So I'm just gonna put the white in the rest. And I'll find a mold that I can marble in. I like to practice the marbling with extras so I don't do it with resin that I don't know how it's gonna react. So I usually do it when I do blooms. I'll just take the leftover white, make it all white, and then I'll drip in a color and pour it into a mold and see what kind of marbling we get. Now this is getting pretty thick because it's the 4-hour fast cure. Please bloom, please bloom. I hope this isn't a bust. Come on. All right, let me find a mold. I'm gonna marble this other butterfly mold that I got from them. So all I'm gonna do is put a drop of the blue and a drop of the pink in. I shouldn't have capped them yet, but I did. So 1 drop of blue, and my resin's getting pretty thick, so I don't know if this is gonna even work in this mold. You can stir it, little swirl. I think I'm gonna spray just to help it get down there. And we will see. Come on, I want blue in there too. Oh man, I think I lost most of the blue. Shoot. That's not going to be marbled. I didn't do a very good job, you guys. My blue is still in there. It's gonna be basically a white butterfly. That stinks. Maybe I'll drop some on the back. We'll do a drop of blue, a drop of pink, and pour the rest. Maybe I should swirl it on the inside. I don't know. Can that happen? We're gonna try. I'm gonna try to salvage this. I didn't want a white butterfly. Let me get the rest in. Come on. It's taking forever to come down. That's that. So we shall see what we end up with. I have a little left. I'll find something to pour it into. Hopefully it'll be marbled a little bit better than this one. And yeah, I'm not sure. This hasn't started blooming that great yet, so I'm hoping it's not too thick in resin. Just gonna keep popping the bubbles. Maybe I'll take my heat gun to it real quick. Just warm it back up, help it move. All right, well, all we can do is wait. Everything is cured. I stuck it all in the refrigerator, so everything's really cold because I didn't want to wait. I have a feeling I have to redo this one. And I kind of want to. I mean, I have a feeling it didn't work because the depth of the resin was too deep. Like I said, it works best on a thin layer of resin. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that's what's going to happen. So after I poured everything, I did pour this little flour with the rest of that white mixture, which came out pretty good. Didn't marble like I wanted to. I just threw all the rest of it into the little butterfly mold. So we ended up with little lavender butterflies. And I got 2 sheets of these today. I did do it differently. Instead of standing here forever dripping 1 drop into each, I put it all over and then I squeegeed it all off. So I do have a little bit of trimming to do, but it's very, very thin and it comes right off. The only thing is if you do it that way, you'll have to take a piece of tape between each pour and get all that extra resin off. So it doesn't hinder you squeegeeing it the next time. See all that little thin pieces of resin that I ended up getting over pour. So I know these are really hard, especially if you have problems with your hands and steadiness and things like that. You're getting 2 drops in there. So some of them might have little bubbles on their wings, but it'll be okay. See all that little, it comes right off. So I'll clean these up for the next one. My resin, the only reason I did that, normally I do drip it in, but I did try that today because the resin was really thick and it was fast cure and it was the last pour. So it was really, really thick by the time I poured them. And then we did that. So that came out nice. It didn't come out marbled, but what are you gonna do? Let's pull this out and see if this one, if we could see all 3 colors or not. Kind of. I wonder what it looks like with a white background. Really not that different, but a little bit. Maybe I'll back it in white. I don't know. All I do usually to back it in white is use the pre-made white UV resin. This stuff right here by Let's Resin. And you usually get a really good result with 1 layer and you can see the color as if you're looking through it on a white piece of paper. So I do have to trim that because it didn't get completely filled up. So let's see. Oh, this butterfly was an extra. Let me get this out. I highly doubt it's what I was going for, but what are you gonna do? Yeah, not at all what I was going for. I don't know if I can like jazz it up or not because the nice part is on the back. But we'll add some stones to it. Whatever. Something. A little bit of something. Let's get these out. These seem to be the easiest. And that came out pretty. Here it is on a white background. It's a little frosty because of my refrigerator and it's like getting condensation on it because it's warming back up in my house. So it is pretty shiny, but you just can't really tell with the condensation on there. I don't normally put things in there, but I knew I might end up doing 3 of these today and not 2, so I wanted to hurry it up a little bit. Here's the pink, and I did put too much pink alcohol ink in with that, so I can't really see that shimmer shine. So that was a mistake I won't do again. But this one you can see the shimmer. It's like more cloudish, more like a little bit of mica powder went into the resin, but it's pretty, very, very pretty. Now this one, I'm not quite sure how to get it out. It's like, oh, it's not too bad. I'm just pushing it from below like that, and it seems to be popping out. This one shrunk quite a lot, more than I thought. I would have filled it up a little bit higher. Oh my goodness. Oh, geez. Wow. So, what is the front? Is this, oh, this must be the front. Okay. Let me just wash this off. It's got stuff on it. I was like, why does that look weird? No, this is the back. It does need trimmed because, like I said, it shrunk a lot. But that's different. It's like a crystal. It's crystally, obviously not diamondy, but it's got the facets to make it. And I like the purple alcohol ink with the shimmer in there. I can see both of them in real life, but oh, you can stand it up just like that. So you would stand it up like this on your desk. So that's nice. So this is more of a little stand for it. Oh, that's pretty cool. I don't know. I might do something to it. You just never know with me. Okay, well, I have a feeling this one is not going to be as beautiful as I wanted it to be. So, are you ready? Are you ready? Yeah, it didn't work. And I'm thinking because it was too thick. It wouldn't spread. Like these edge petals were spreading because the resin, I don't know. The resin was actually thinner right there. That's the first time. I don't know. And this is even defrosting, so you can't even see the petals very good. I'm not sure I want to do another. I mean, I should eventually. If I have time today, I'll do it again, but I definitely want to pour it because the petals that did do it are behind this where you can't see them. So that is so weird. It didn't do anything. Look at the swirls in the back, though, on a brighter note. That is so strange to me, and I'm wondering if it's because it was so much deeper than I normally pour. I don't know. I don't know. Let me grab some colors. We're going to just do something every normal person can do and see what it looks like with that.
What happened to the white there?
Yeah, I know. That's what I was trying to figure out.
I'll teach you later.
Yeah, okay.
I'll show you the tricks.
All right, let me grab some colors. As I still think about the bloom failure and what it went wrong, I mixed up more colors. So I mixed up 4 ounces for the coaster, same colors as I used in the bloom. I did pink, blue, and then I put them together for the purple. So these are just those 2 colors. And I'm just going to combine them in here. This time I'm going to spray a little bit around those crystals. And I think I'm going to do blocks of color. And then see if I can get them swirled together. Just add a little bit at a time of each color, and it kind of pushes them back as you pour. And I am still trying to figure out what in the world was different. There's a couple differences. One was the mold and the depth of the sides as compared to the bottom. However, the edges bloomed, and that was the deeper portion. The only other difference is I've never used Pixis alcohol inks in a bloom before, but I didn't think that that would make a big difference. 4 ounces looks good. It probably could have held a little bit more, but I didn't really want a whole lot of extras because I want to be able to finish what I've started already. And then try to do another bloom in this video if you guys are up for it. If you're not gonna go anywhere, I might try it again. Let me get the pink out and see if I can somehow, I don't want it to look like one of those Simon games. That's what it looks like to me right now. I'm gonna get these out. Probably can hold another ½ ounce to 1 ounce maybe. Let me grab a lighter. I'm stumped on that. I've followed every step I always follow when I do blooms. Rarely do I have a failure following those steps. Let me get that pink out of there. Let's see. How do I want to? I kind of want to. Do that so they all kind of go into each other yet still have the colors. I don't know. I've never done that before. Hopefully they stay separated. And then this will give me a little bit of time to think about how I can get that balloon to work in this mold, because obviously they did in the picture that they give us on their description. They show a picture of a bloom. But like I was saying here, it bloomed in the deepest parts, and not it should be the opposite effect, because I try to pour as thin as possible to get it to bloom. So I don't know if these new alcohol ink stopped it, because there was no alcohol ink back there. Huh. That is interesting now that I'm looking at it. Maybe I should, well, I can't just do a white bloom without a back coating, so maybe I'll go back to my normal. I always use Let's Resin alcohol inks for my blooms. So maybe I need to stick with those and not mess something up. Let me see if I can get that centered. Like that. So I'm going to try to get these cured as fast as I can so I can go back to that one.
In her studio where colors blend, Michelle's creations have no end. From coasters bright to jars that gleam, she brings to life each shining dream. Glitz and glitter, watch them dance in Michelle's hands. They find their chance. Resin flows and sparkles play, crafting beauty day by day. Bowls that shimmer, blooms that shine.
Okay, so this is what I did to the butterfly. I used the new AB stones I got in my Happy Mail recently, and I put them on the body and the wings. Makes it look a little bit better. I back coated the heart in white, so it will always be those colors. I highlighted the rose and put green on the leaves and put a pinch bail on there for, it already had the hole, so this was meant to be a pendant. For the crosses, because they're so thick and I'm not going to use that hole, I was like, what can I do to cover it? Then I just put the same stones there, so I just added them to each end, so that way there's no hole that we have to worry about. You can do what you want with it. And then for this one, I just put the same stones on, went down those in the body with different size stones, and that's it. So let's get on with this and see what we have. Yeah, I gotta do that bloom because it's bothering me a lot. And you know, I won't be able to sleep unless I do it. That's pretty, let's see. So the swirl kind of stayed. You almost need to back coat this with white so you could see it depending on, but look at the sparkle along the edge. That's what it's all about, not necessarily my design. It's all about that beautiful sparkle, which is very pretty, but holding it up with black, I don't like the color, so I do like the white on there. So maybe it should be back coated, I'm not sure. It's still bendy because I'm not waiting long enough. And I didn't fill it all the way up, so I do have some trimming to do. So what I have done, and what I think I'm going to try, I'm going to pour, I've already got 2 ounces of my fast cure mixed up. I'm just going to pour, oh, let me look at these and see if that alcohol worked. So I don't see any bubbles. So the first time I poured it in, I saw a bunch of bubbles. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep spritzing that so we don't get bubbles. I'm going to just pour this edge, and then I'm going to do the bloom after that edge is cured, or tacky, not necessarily cured. I'm gonna try to bust 3 of these out in one day for you guys. I just can't figure it out because it just doesn't make any sense to me. I didn't change anything except the alcohol inks. That was 2 ounces. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put it all in, and then I'm going to do the bloom on the next coat, and that should fill up the whole coaster. That might be good if it works. If the bloom works, otherwise I'm gonna have 2 bloopers on my hands. Yeah, that's a nice thin coat. And then I'll pour the other 2 ounces back here with the white. And I'm going to use my normal Let's Resin alcohol ink and see if that's the difference. I don't know if that's the difference or not. I don't know. We're gonna find out here in just a second. Are you ready to try this one more time with me? So I've got 3 ounces mixed up. I'm gonna show you. This is what I always do. Okay, it's 34.5, which is fine. I'm gonna pour 2 of the ounces in here. So now we have a flat surface to work on, but I don't think that was it. Like I said, I don't know what it was. Let me see. I need enough to mix the white. I don't think I need a whole ounce though. Okay, we'll make white out of the rest. I'm going to use the Let's Resin red. No, Sugarlight, something like that. I'm gonna try to keep it just kind of right here in the center. I really don't want to go around those edges. I don't want too much, and I'm not quite sure how it's going to look through a second layer of resin. It should pull to the center. I'm going to put one more over here, and then I'm going to mix up the white the same exact way while that does its thing. One drip at a time. Come on. That's like a drop and a half. So I'm going just past skim milk, just past transparent. Is that too much? I did like a drip and a half. Let me do it like a half a drop, if there is such a thing. Just a touch. That's it. Mix that up really good. I'm gonna put it in the piping bag. And maybe I should just try a normal petal and not get too crazy. I'm gonna put this in the piping bag. I think I might swirl that red just so I can move it where I want it. And get all this out of here. I don't think we need it all, but let's see, where's my, nope, I don't want that. I want this. I'm gonna try to keep it just in the center, like I said. Like that. All right. Let me get this bag tied and cut. And let's start piping. Really like want to know what happened. I mean, we're using the same resin that I always use. Same temperature. Same white consistency. I don't know. All right, let me grab some scissors. Cut that. Let's check it. All right. So I guess I'm just going to do my normal. Since it's going to pull in, I'm going to go just to that edge. And I do just kind of swirl it to give a little extra petal. And then we will pull it in. And if this works, I really don't know what the answer was. but maybe you guys do, because you're watching from a different perspective than I am. All right, that looks good. Just make sure all the bubbles are popped so they don't get hindered. It's already blooming. I mean, I could already tell a difference. That looks good. See that? It's already blooming. So I don't know. Now, let's try to marble the rest of this again. See if I can get it right this time. Alcohol inks are not always the best for marbling. Really should be using like a pigment paste or a very high potent. I like Cast and Craft, which is really high potent for marbling. I'm gonna leave that out. I'm not gonna move this. Let me put this away and grab some marbling something. Let's do, I like the blue Cast and Craft the best. And this is pigment concentrate. Let me grab a mold. All right, I'm gonna go ahead, I'm gonna drop one drop in. I've got this little seashell out. Mix it pretty good, not pretty good, but you know what I mean. I'm gonna squirt this though, a little bit. And hopefully we have a little bit better, I don't know if we're gonna see it. This one has a little texture to it. But it's definitely marbled, put it that way. That looks good. I'm just gonna top it up. And that's it. I'll probably make a couple turtles out of this. Look at that, it already looks completely different than it did before. So I have no clue what happened. All right, see you on demold. This is the last chance for today. So I made a whole tray of blue butterflies with the leftovers. It was no longer marbling, it was basically all blue, which is fine with me. I just smeared it on here like I did the last time. I wasn't having the 2 drops anymore. Not after a long day of this. I put 3 in the little turtles. These are kind of marbled, not too much. Little bit. Not sure how this marbled, but we shall see. Oh, that's pretty. Is that uncured pigment paste? Yes. Yes, it is. See, guys? I'm telling you all the time. Mix your pigment paste. So, I don't know. We'll have to cover that with something. Well, this is it. If this didn't work today, we're going to have to visit it another day. But I'm thinking it might have worked. And if it did, I don't know why it did. But it's gorgeous. And it's beautiful underneath that clear coat of the first coat. So if I ever do this again, which I'm sure I will, I think that's how I'm going to do it. Look at the sparkle on that. I don't know, guys. Give me your input, because this one worked perfectly. I didn't do anything different other than pour the molds full and then half, or the alcohol inks. And I really don't want to do it again and ruin it. I don't know. I kind of want to know what's wrong though, but not tonight. Like, it took me all day just to do 3 and to get them all cured, especially with the double cure. But that one's good. So I'm happy with that one. Here is the here's the one that didn't work out so well compared to the one that did work out pretty good. So I don't know. I am stumped, and I don't like being stumped, but I bet one of you have the answer for me. Other than that, I didn't do anything else to anything. I didn't back coat this one. I just left it as it is. I don't know if I'm going to or not. I'm not sure. I would have to get it level somehow. You could even UV resin with this white UV resin that they have. That's what I've been back coating with, but that's a lot of UV resin. Maybe I'll do it. I don't know. I guess you might have to check eBay if you want it and see what I did, because I'm undecided at the moment. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to get you some pictures. I will see you tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to continue on with these or if I'm going to break it up this month. So we'll figure that out, and you can find out tomorrow at 6 o'clock. See you then. Have a blessed day, everybody. Bye.
Glitz and glitter paint her way. She lights up hearts come what may. With a brush of faith she starts. Jesus whispers through her art. Patience blooms in every hue. Her love for viewers shines so true. Shimmer sparkles in her eyes. A radiant soul under bright skies. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Her colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart. Canvas dreams and sparkly streams. Her laughter flows like sunlit beams. With each stroke her spirit sings, a masterpiece of golden wings. She sprinkles joy like morning dew. In every shade a promise new. A life of love, a life of grace. In her art we see his face. Glitz and glitter, Michelle, a story. Her colors tell faith and love in every part. Jesus guides her shining heart. She sprinkles joy like morning dew. In every shade a promise new. A life of love, a life of grace. In her art we see his face.